My name Hans, Storyteller Nordsiek. Good to have you here. This is the next level lecture and it's called the... I'm laughing too. This happens all the time. You know, I've done street theater for 15 years and there's always a problem, an issue with audio system. And today I got bitten by the devil in my tail again. So it happens all the way, you know. When you do street theater on the street, balloons that you have for the kids, they blow away, your stage blows away, all kinds of things. It starts to rain, what happened that, and so good to have you all. Okay, we start all over again. Next level lecture of today, the passage of the year, and I have to laugh about it. It's the end of the year. We're going to talk about the change of the year, and this morning I told myself I want to keep it with humor, and that's what I want to bring. Now, any story I tell, if you tell somebody a story without any humor, only serious, it's always a very bad story. If there is no humor in it, although you may be totally right. So we'll try to put in some humor in it. I have a background in aviation as an airline pilot, as an aircraft engineer. I flew big Boeings all over the sky, and for 30 years I was a captain instructor on the big Boeings. And I met many people. I visited many cultures, and I heard a lot of stories from these cultures and inside these from these people inside the cultures. And this is the blueprint I talk from. This is a 25 lecture about the passage of the year. And if it's interesting for you, let's find out, because things may be different than you have been doing already all your life. In fact, things may be different in regard to the change of the year that you have heard in your life that we are already doing for hundreds or hundreds of years. Maybe very different. It's a story about 25 minutes. I ask you to take the red pill. And why do I ask you to take the red pill? If there is a question bubbling up, then I ask you the following. Because this platform is not to criticize, to see who's the best, to see who knows better. This is not a competition. So any question that bubbles up should be connected to better understanding of my story in one way or another. So that you take the red pill. Oh, I want to hear more, I want to understand it better. So this lecture is for everybody that looks around in his life and thinks, well, maybe things can be different, and maybe things should be a little bit different in my life. So it's all about the re's. I talk always about It's reinventing. It's rediscovering. At the end of the lecture, I come back to you because you have a double duty. It's all about rediscovering life, redesigning life, and reinventing life. We are in a crosspoint of humanity on an individual and also on a global level, on a crosspoint of humanity, that we do have the opportunity to redesign, to rediscover, and to reinvent life. So what you will learn that, well, a little head scratching. Maybe things are different that were given by us, by our traditions, by our family, by our group, by our culture, maybe different than originally anticipated. So I love to give each other question marks. Think about it. I love to give that. So a little bit, there's a warning for you. In aviation, we have caution and we have a warning. What is a caution? Well, a caution, if you have a 4-engine airplane, an airplane with 4 engines, 1 engine fails, you still have 3 left. That's a caution. If you have a 2-engined airplane and 1 engine fails, you have 1 engine left. That's a warning. Anyway, the warning here is that what I tell may sound like far-fetched fantasy from another period. Who cares what happened so many years ago? Hans, why do you dig up these old things from thousands and thousands of years ago? Well, I do ask you to think about it twice, because I'm busy with these subjects I talk about. Although they may seem very fantasyful, they do have a profound background. I studied that for about 30 years. So what it is, it's a 25 lecture regarding this subject. Personal note, I put in my personal views also in the story. Of course. You always need to picture your life with the color of your heart. So give it the color of what you want. Theory should always be colored with the tints of your heart. So there's always my view, my frequency in what I tell. Let's start. We're talking about the passage of life, a passage of the year. In some days it's December 31, January 1, and that's almost all over the world. It's celebrated as we go from one year, we go to the next year. And everybody wants to make a party and join, and 10 seconds before 12 o'clock at the midnight, 10, 9, 2, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, and then celebrate, and we start the new year. Sure, great celebration. Well, we will discuss a little bit, we will discover something else maybe in this lecture. Keep the celebration and now think about it. I'll give you an example. What is the best moment for your life? Your life. What is the best moment for your life, your personal life? You, Mary, John, what your name is. What is the best moment for your life to celebrate? In the 365 days, 1 year, when do you celebrate your life? Yes, that's on your birthday. So when did your life start? Yes, your life started on your birthday. Aha. Okay. Well, would it be a great idea if you start to celebrate the new life of the earth to do it on the birthday of the year? And then the birthday may be different than December 31. We will find out the next 15 minutes. So the most harmonious and logical choice to celebrate your life 1 year, 20, 40, 60, 70 years is your birthday. Could be May 4 or December 2. That's when your life started. Well, take that analogy towards 2020. What would be the best time to start a new life, to start a new year? And forget a little bit about what being told by the historians about the Gregorian Calendar. What would be the best starting point of the new year? Let's investigate that a little bit more. We have our 4 cycles in a year, 365 days, 12 months, 4 seasons. We have spring, summer, autumn or fall, and we have winter. 4 seasons. And they change from one season to the other. It's not like a quantum jump. It gradually goes from one season to the other season. And you know that the passage, the change, the milestone from one season to the next season, that is a celestial thing. That's a celestial thing. You can read it from our part of the universe, because that's just not just such a arbitrary date of end of March. Now we go to the spring. There's something happening at end of March when we go from the winter to the spring. So we have 4 seasons, we have 4 change, not periods, change times, milestones. And I give you the example of the changing from winter to spring. And now I take you in the definition of it. That's originally called, and we have 2 of them, equinox. Because when you change from winter to spring, somewhere end of March, then the day and the night are exactly the same length. Wow. No, not many people know that. I didn't know that until I found out. I thought, well, just the spring start, whatever, doesn't matter, somehow the spring start. Well, it's a very defined celestial point in time, in the universe. Half a year later, then we go from autumn or fall to winter. That is in, what do you say, in September. Yeah, September. Then exactly, equinox, the day and the night are exactly the same length. Okay, now I take you into the solstice. Foreign word for the next phenomena is that the solstice is where the day is shortest and the night is longest. It's a cyclic thing. So at 2 times a year, the day and the night are exactly the same length. Consequently, 2 times a year, day and night are far extreme different. We have the longest night, or we have the longest day, or we have the shortest night or the shortest day. So the longest day or the shortest night, longest day, that is the end of June. And the longest night and the shortest day, that is at the end of December. Somewhere the end of December, and not on December 31. That is at December 21. So, when do you celebrate your life? When the year started, when your life started. That's the birth date of your life. So when does a year start? A year starts, for us as inhabitants of this earth, the year starts when the days are shortest, the night is longest, that we call death, and the day we call the light, life. So when the night is the longest, and from that point onward, the nights will be shorter, the days will be longer. So the light will start to come back into our life. So what is the exact date that we have the shortest day, and after that the days start to be longer? Well, that is December 21, plus or minus a day. So that would be the far more natural starting point of any year. And in the 16th century, exactly in the year 1582, there was a pope, his name was Gregory, and he introduced the Gregorian Calendar. And since then, we are compressed into 12 months, into 7 days a week. And 12 months, and we make some side steps here for better understanding. 12 months is the month. What we say, the month is about 30 days, 28 to 31 days. That is the cycle of the moon. So the word month comes from moon. So there is this moon cycle connected to it. So the Gregorian Pope, Gregory the Pope, he started to introduce the Gregorian calendar with the December and the January months in it. And he said, well, the year started at January 1st. And what I just said, there's a far more natural passage of the time. Did you know that the months, June or July, August, where August comes from, or July? It comes from the Romans. You had an emperor called August, and you have an emperor called Julius Caesar. There comes the name of the month from. July, August, and September, October, November, December. September, October, November, December. And now this is a side step, because the story that I tell, it's a big story. It's a big story, and we only see the top of the iceberg above the water level. September, October, November, December. If you would be from an Italian background, you would understand what it means. October, octo, 8. September, 9. November. September is 9. Nove is 9. And December is 10. So you have September, October, November, December, 7, 8, 9, 10. Somehow in history, these titles were given to these months. So December means the 10th month, October means the 8th month, September means the 7th month. It's the same about a side step about the names of the day. We have Monday, Moon Day. Sunday is day of the sun. Monday, day of the moon. And then we have Wednesday. That's the day of Wodan. That's an old European, Scandinavian mythological figure, a divine figure, Wodan. It's a day of Wodan, Wednesday. Another one, Thursday, it's a day of Thor. It's another mythological figure from the Western tradition, the European tradition. So Thursday is the day of Thor. And Friday, Freya, that is the feminine divine figure in the European tradition, the day of Freya. So Saturday is the day of Saturnus. So sometimes there are little things happening behind the scene that is that we are not aware of. So once more, the most natural time in the year is the end of December 20 or 21, when the day is shortest and the night is longest. That would be the time to celebrate the new year. And that happened right 1 or 2 days ago. That would be the celebration of the new year. Now, connected to the celebration of the new year is Christmas. And connected to the celebration of New Year is Santa Claus. And connected to the celebration of the New Year is the Jesus tradition. And fourth, the connection to the celebration of the New Year is putting a tree in your house. And it's a special tree. That's a symbolic value of that special tree, because it's a special tree that will not shed her leaves. It stays green, that special tree that we put in our houses. It doesn't shake off the leaves. So it is the ritual that the new year will be celebrated and welcomed by saying the light from the old year, although it seems to extinguish in the fall and the winter period, it will rise again, because we have the green, the tree that continues living with the green leaves on it. And that takes us into the next phase as a human and as humanity. And in the Christmas tree, we put a star on it that has a semi-religious background, the Star of Bethlehem. Another thing we put shiny glitter things in it, and shiny balls and little mirrors and things. And that's an old tradition, that's to scare off the bad spirits. That's why we put it in there. Now it looks like it is just entertainment, it's decoration. There is to scare off the bad spirits from the old year, because if they would see themselves in these glittery things, they would scare themselves. Oh, here's me, I'm the bad spirit of the old year, and they would not pass through the gate towards the next year. Isn't that interesting, amazing that this is behind all these celebrations? So the light bringer, and now the Jesus tradition comes in. Jesus, in the Jesus tradition, is the bringer of light, and that is connected with the tree, the Christmas tree. And the bringer of light makes the day longer. It brings the light from the heavens towards the earth, that there will be a new year coming. It's the light bringer. At the other hand, half a year later, what happens? The end of June, because then we have the shortest night and the longest day. The days are the longest. The day is the symbol for life. And after that, that's the end of June, June 21. The days are the longest. After that date, June 21, the days start to shorten. And then that was originally celebrated as well, that the days would be shorter. And that's connected with the mystical figure of John, or Johannes. And that is the bringer of death in a way, the bringer of shorter days and longer nights. It's the balancing of it's the celestial balancing, that you have the light bringer end of December in the Jesus tradition, that is Jesus, and we have the end of June, we have the bringer of death, that is John, and or Johannes. My name is Hans, connected with that as well, and that's the baptized. Somehow the Baptist is connected to John as well. So let me emphasize that I talk from a mythological background, and mythology is not about things that really happened in the history. It's about mythology. It's happening. It doesn't happen in the physical world. It happens in the storytelling world. Sometimes it's important to understand unless we start to argue about was this person alive, yes or no. It's all a mythology stories, and still very profound. So let me see where we are. Yes, 7. Oh yeah, and then we have a week, and that is 7 days, and we talk about it somewhere the next time. Why does the week have 7 days? 7 is also what they somehow call them a holy figure. Well, and this takes a long story to tell. I give you the shortest version. Why 7 days? Because the very old, in fact, all the old global traditions say is you can from 1 till 6 is part of mankind, and 7 day 7 is part of the divine. It's the resting day for mankind. So work for 6 days, and then the 7th day, the Sunday, what we call it today, that is the resting day, and enjoy the fruits of your life. And humanity, we connected, and again, this is a long story. The human life is connected is connected with a 7-step approach all the time, and anything more than 7 steps is divine. It's of another frequency in the universe. So that's why we have 7 steps. So Sunday is traditionally, also in many traditions, it's the day of resting, and it's the day also of not interfering with nature. That was the original meaning also of the 7th day, the Sunday, that don't let nature do her thing without human interference. Okay, we come to the conclusion of this story. Let me see on my paper if I have told you everything that I want to tell you. Yes, so the conclusion is that you and I, we are made from dust. We are made from our molecules are made from stardust. We are made from stardust. There's no question about that. So and if you take that into a very big step, that everything that happens to the universe will happen to us as well. Everything that we do to ourselves or to our mankind, to our fellows, will happen to the universe. So we are in a celestial galactic game. So in that respect, and the celebration of the universe, the celebration of the new year, it would be better to do it December 21, but the longest night, the shortest day, instead of December 31, because that's a fantasy date we take. So and that is the calling from the universe tells us, please be in harmony with all of us, and take a calendar that is in harmony with the big story of the universe. I would promise you about the double duty that we have in rediscovering, redesigning and reinventing. I just gave you one example of things that may have been misunderstood, that we can understand better, and there are far more things that we can touch, the subject we can touch for better understanding. And we are in a time frame as humans today that if we have ears to listen to these things, to these subjects, then we have a double duty. One thing would be to reintroduce this ancient timeless knowledge. That's duty 1. And the duty number 2 would be to find a way how to introduce them into our daily or annually practices. That's the double duty. We are a little bit off grid as mankind, so that calls us. That's at least what I hear all the time in my heart as my internal compass. This is my call of duty, and my duty is a double duty. That's why I tell these things, and in my personal life I try to integrate this as well. Finding ways how do you integrate these things? I don't know. It takes your creativity to do that. So this is the end of my lecture of today. I hope you enjoyed it. Your takeaways, I hope your takeaways that the next days celebrate life, celebrate end of life and the New Year's life, and have a little bit of a head scratcher. See what happens when the story that I just told you start to sink in. Thank you for watching. We'll be back next time. I'll be back, Hans the Storyteller, Nordsiek.